So I wanted to make a video, a slightly longer format. I'm going to try and keep this to around 6 minutes if possible, and give you a breakdown of how to cure an autoimmune issue, gut issue, inflammation. A lot of the processes have been triggered by a lot of the same things. And to give you a backstory, I found a YouTuber 8 years ago that back then was talking about the gut in a very particular way that really resonated with me. And I had a few things going on with my gut, no digestion issues or anything, just like joints, skin, this kind of stuff. And it really, I wanted to understand it a lot better. So I paid, thousands of dollars for a bit of help. Don't get me wrong, the service was absolutely terrible, if I'm honest, but he gave me the right direction. And honestly, because he gave me that direction, I would have paid double, because it set me off on a path that really changed everything for me. And I want to teach you that in a very short period of time. So just to understand, we're going to go, how did you get here? Symptoms, protocols, and journey. Straight through it. How did you get here? How did you end up with a gut issue? How did you end up with all of this inflammation and all these problems? It's all down to your nutrition, your lifestyle. All right. So when you are eating in a certain way, it causes your gut biome to be destroyed or interrupted, let's say, and it doesn't just change overnight. Same goes when you're fixing it. It doesn't just change overnight. That's why gut cleanses and all these things are a lot of rubbish. You need to change your microbiome back to healthy again, and you need to give it time to heal your gut. And that's why you need to go through these protocols. You can't just do like a 3-day cleanse and I'm done. No, it doesn't work like that. And that's why so many people never get the results they want. So you got here because of the nutrition and lifestyle, the things you're putting into your body over years and years and years. And that's why sometimes you can get an issue 20 years later, when you're 21 years old and you never had any issues before, or you get something when you're 40, because sometimes your body battles it over time and then eventually it can't cope anymore. And as you get older, these things are harder to fix. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to heal it over time with the right structures in place that are sustainable. And the beautiful thing about when you heal your gut, you don't have to be absolutely perfect. Once you've healed it, I would say you would probably need to be pretty close to perfect while you're healing it. And for some people, it might heal in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. It depends, but you're usually looking at around those timescales. Some people heal quicker than others, depending on the person. So again, you've got your struggle with those. You've got your gut's not doing well because of nutrition, alcohol, potentially just bad oily food, lots of things in there. There'll be something in there that you're not doing right. But what I will tell you is the symptoms are different for everyone. You could end up in a situation where the symptoms are skin, joint, really bad depression. There's so many symptoms to this that you don't always can put your finger on, and I couldn't even list them all for you. So if you're feeling that there's something just not quite right, it's probably a lot to do with your gut. And your gut is the center of how you feel, your mind, everything. And that's why when you have symptoms, such as whatever that may be, you need to make sure that you're not just thinking that it's just normal to have that, because it's not. And again, you need to write down your symptoms. And again, even though you can list a million of them, if you're here and you're watching this, you think you've got a gut issue, you probably do. And the beautiful thing is, even if the very, very small percentage chance you didn't, and you follow these protocols, you're going to feel absolutely amazing and you'll see a lot of benefits. The protocols that are involved in here that I will explain to you are number one is making sure, well, there's a few. Number one would be making sure that you get your nutrition clean. And that would just be eating simple foods. I would even just potentially say a 30-day meat, fruit, and vegetables. No grains, no oils, meat, fruit, and vegetables. Don't ask to say, can I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. 30 days, meat, fruit, and vegetables. And when you do that, that'll make a big difference to just the overall understanding of what you're putting in your body, because then you can dial it in to a point where if you've still got issues after 30, 60, 90 days, you can start looking a bit more detailed in what could be the problem, because at this point you know what's actually going in. But if you don't have set structures and boundaries, you'll just be guessing. It could be something within the lunch that you have every second day at work, and you don't know because you're not really tracking it. But when you just give yourself those boundaries, meat, fruit, and vegetables as the only thing you eat, then that's fine. Over time, you can then introduce maybe some potatoes, rice and grains into your diet again if you felt like you've really, really seen a huge difference. Sometimes, as I said, people are completely healed in 30 days, 45 days. Some might take 3-6 months, so it depends on the person. Meat, fruit, and vegetables. No alcohol, making sure you're getting enough sleep. These are massive for your central nervous system to heal your gut, is if you're not getting enough sleep, this will cause you a lot of problems along the way. It'll give you higher cravings. It'll make you a higher chance of giving up. These are really important follows. So meat, fruit, vegetables, no alcohol, a certain amount of water, probably for a woman 3, for a man 4 liters of water, around about that per day. This is a simple protocol. I actually got other things along the way that he gave me that were maybe a little bit unnecessary. We did some things called salt flushes, where you drink salt water and it would basically clean out your body, which is not the greatest, and I don't think it were always necessary. But making it simple for you, taking out all this stuff and just focusing on those, I guarantee that will probably fix 98% of you, honestly. And that's the one thing I'll say to you is, this is where we go into the journey, is don't just do it 6.5 days a week. When you're fixing and resetting your gut, you cannot afford to just have a little bit of something, because it can reset you back to the beginning again. Once you've healed your gut, as I said it before, it's easier to then maintain random meals out and things once it's healed. But in the process, you cannot have cheat meals. That's what I learned from it. I've noticed that with many, many people along the way, when they have those cheat meals, it sets you back a lot. So making sure throughout the journey. Last part I would say about the journey is your social life. You're going to have to just deal with not being that social, deal with letting people know that before you go out, you're not going to eat, you're going to eat before you go. Just for at least a couple months or a few months, it's not that big a deal. But the difference it makes to your life is incredible. So making sure your journey is on point and making sure that your social life is, sorry, I'm just checking, it was manage my storage. Making sure your journey is fluent. You have to have your boundaries, and you have to make sure that you stick to those protocols and you don't reset yourself. Because if you keep doing that over time, you'll end up giving up completely and being like, it doesn't work. No, it does work. It's just you didn't stick to it. So there's a big difference. Make sure your journey is about you and only you. And this is the time you need to take for yourself, because this is where it will completely transform your life. If you have an underlying gut issue, the symptoms are not enjoyable. There's a lot of problems in there, and it can be really, really claustrophobic and overbearing. If you are having serious symptoms, even minor symptoms, you need to follow these protocols. The protocol is so basic. I have other ones, but for anyone watching this video, I can do a part 2, but make sure you follow those as a basic for 30 to 45 days. If you do that, come to me afterwards. I can tell you other protocols on top of that. But until you do 45 days straight with meat, fruit, vegetables, water, sleep, training, sun, listen, you will not be able to move to level 2. Level 1, and most people heal completely pretty much on level 1 itself. I hope that's helpful. Make sure, if you want to get more information on this, follow me on Carlo Milo Fitness on Instagram. Carlo Milo Fitness then I'll be able to give you other videos on top of that, and I'll go back and forth between my YouTube and my Instagram. These are great platforms to follow me on, and I'll answer any questions, comment on this video, or any questions at all. Reach out to me on Instagram as well. I hope that was helpful.